It was the nicest little whorehouse you ever saw. It lay about a mile down this old dirt road, and if you just happened to stumble on it, you couldn't help but notice that the barns were painted, the fences were up, and you might think to yourself, why, these folks would probably do to run the river with. Oh, the little house lay in a green Texas glade where the trees were as cool and as fresh lemonade. Soft summer wind had a trace of perfume while the fan was turning in every room. 20 fans were turning, they were turning, 20 fans were turning in every room. Fevers were burning, they were burning, and they had to have a way to cool down. Since the 1890s, this has been one of the better pleasure palaces in all Texas. In fact, it's said that some of our Landville County boys celebrated here before going off to fight with Teddy Roosevelt at San Juan Hill. It used to be right on Main Street, above the hardware store. But in 1915, some of the local Jesus bunch got on their high horses, and the girls had to move outside the city limits, but just past the bad curve sign. It was during the Hoover Depression that Miss Willa Jean come along. Now, she put in a set of rules just a shade less rigid than the Ten Commandments. You see, Miss Willa Jean didn't appreciate no perversion, so she cut out all the exotic extras. But she did like her ladies, as she called them, to treat her customer real nice. It had nice watermelons all covered with vines, and a vegetable garden, a few slender pines, a white painted fence with the roses in bloom, while a fan was turning in every room. In the 1950s, Miss Willa Jean put a jukebox in the parlor to help break the ice. A fella could ask a girl to dance, or if he held back a little while, she'd ask him. And pretty soon they get a little business going on. $3 worth. You see, this was back in the old days when Roosevelt Nookie was cheaper than Carter coffee. When the sun would go down in a wild blaze of light, and the little house lay in the stillness of the night, fireflies would flicker and float in the gloom, while the fan was turning in every room. Miss Willa Jean had a strict rule about competing for customers. If she caught one of the girls flashing her wares a little more than she thought was ladylike, she'd raise 9 times ahead. And she insisted that each of the girls check their customer real good for the clap and wash them off with soap and warm water. Now, some of the fellas claimed that was the best part. But you didn't have to worry about catching nothing here like you did from them freelancing girls down at Galveston.
Now, I told you, honey, I gotta have my $3 first. Miss Willa Jean don't know nothing till I pay my rent.
It wasn't always easy to come up with $3, especially during the hard times.
Oh, you just keep a chicken in the bag and I'll take him out back as soon as you're finished.
So the girls began accepting poultry and trade. And well, that's how the place got its name, the Chicken Ranch. And if you grew up anywhere in Texas, you knew at an early age they were selling something there other than pullets. 20 hands are turning, they were turning, 20 hands are turning in every room. Fevers were burning, they were burning, and they had to have a way to cool down. 20 hands were humming, they were humming, 20 hands were humming in every room. Customers were coming, they were coming, and they had to have a way to cool down. I'm coming, 10 years ago, Miss Walla Jean died, and she bequeathed the place in her will to her favorite working girl, Miss Mona Stangley, who you could say worked her way up from the bottom. Miss Mona did her best to adhere to the rules and traditions of the chicken ranch, which might be why they kept in peace with the town for so long. Well, that isn't until about a year ago, Thanksgiving.
You don't have to worry about nothing. Just let me do the talking. Try not to act like you just rode in on a load of turkeys.
I'm scared.
Well, take off then. Ain't nobody holding a gun to your head.
I know it.
I should have just let you find your own way here. Out of all them people on that bus, how come you asked me where this place was at?
Well, you just look like you might know.
Thanks a lot. Takes one to know one. Come on, follow me. Hello? Is the madam here?
She ever hear you call her madam and you won't stay here? She's got more pride than a U.S. Marine. But around here, we call her Miss Mona.
Well, okay. Can we see her?
Well, I don't suppose you're here to sell no Tupperware now, are you? Give me a minute, honey, I'll get it for you. Miss Mona! Got a couple of girls here for you.
All right, Jewel, I'll be right down. Well, now, what happened? Did the Texas Rangers raid Galveston again, or was it a hurricane? See, I never had girls lining up for jobs before.
Are you hiring on anybody?
Well, maybe, maybe not. See, I'm kind of choosy about who lives in this house, right, Jewel?
Yes, ma'am.
Can't put up on you, honey?
I wasn't holding out on him.
Uh-huh. Honey, you coming or going?
Yes, ma'am. I'm coming.
You want to take a seat?
Yes, ma'am.
So, how much experience have y'all had?
Amateur or professional?
For money, honey.
About 4 years.
How about you?
No.
None, huh? Well, this Thursday I'm going to have a whole house full of college boys. They probably ain't had none either.
College boys?
Yep. The winning seniors from the Texas Aggie, Texas U gang gets treated to a night here on Thanksgiving by their alumni association.
Well, that sounds like fun.
No, it ain't good for a working girl to get to enjoying it too much.
The Johns usually see to it that I don't.
Oh, honey, we don't call them Johns here. We don't call them tricks. Not even customers, no. We call them guests.
Yes.
Guests. We make them feel at home without making them feel at home, if you get my meaning.
I think I do. Well, to tell the truth, I'm sick of working spots all over the state. Moving all the time from hotel to motel, pimps beating you up, taking your money, bellboys making you give them free.
Hold it right there now. Honey, see, I don't allow my girls to talk like that. Now, couldn't you just say, free samples?
Yes, ma'am. Anyhow, these pimps, these, sample salesmen,
See, now that's very ladylike.
anyhow, they stole my money and beat my ass. My person. And half the time when I would get picked up, they weren't even around to bail me out.
Now, I don't want nobody around here with any law troubles. Now, are they after you for anything?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm clean as a whistle.
How many times you been picked up for prostitution?
Not many.
How many?
Maybe 6? Probably not even that many.
Hot checks?
No.
Assault?
No.
Clawing? Scratching?
I told you everything.
You don't? You gotta have it?
No, ma'am.
Don't even like nose candy?
Like what?
Cocaine, honey.
Oh, I'm not into that stuff.
Speed?
No.
Grass?
Well, I have experimented with grass.
Right. From now on, you leave the experiments to science. I'll crack down on doping in a New York minute. Oh, that's all right, honey. Yeah, I think I better lay down the rules in my place before I do any hiring. See, this is the country. local businessmen, bohemian farmers, and congressmen from over to Austin. Now, we used to get a bunch of roughnecks when the oil wells was pumping, but thank the Lord the field dried up. Payday was getting just a little too rambunctious. No, mainly, we get us a nice, quiet group, and I aim to keep it that way. It's just a little old bitty pissant country place. Nothing much to see. There's no drinking allowed. We get a nice quiet crowd, plain as it can be. It's just a piddly squat old time country place. Nothing too high tone, just lots of goodwill. And maybe one small thrill. But there's nothing dirty going on. Nothing dirty going on. Now I don't hire no married girls, they're not on the ball. They got homes and husbands, they're not stable at all. They don't understand a single thing about a proper business day. I mean, what's the point of opening up the store if you give the goods away? It's just a little bitty pissant country place, nothing much to see. There's no drinking allowed, we get a nice quiet crowd, plain as it can be. It's just a piddly squat old time country place, nothing too high tone, just lots of goodwill and maybe one small thrill. But there's nothing dirty going on. Keep your language clean, girl, keep your bedroom neat. Don't hang around the town cafe or say hi on the street. And if you mind your P's and Q's and manners, you don't need no other tools. But before I finish, I should add a special note on rules. Miss Mona's gonna lay it down, special no rules. It's enough to be quality, that's the kind of thing that big fat lazy hogs do. And it don't make money, and I don't tolerate no tying up my telephone with other people's business. Are you with me, honey? And please don't show me no tattoos, no hearts and flowers on your thigh. It's downright tacky. Brands blowing on cattle, and that ain't what we're selling at Miss Mona's. You catch my drift? I pay the food and the rent and the utilities. You keep your mind on your work responsibilities. Don't let your mouth overload your capabilities. And we can get on. And as for pimps are something you don't need to get your daily business done. You listening good? So keep those leeches and bloodsuckers off the back roads. I know how to use a gun. No one messes with my girls. And any questions you might have about the way I run this place, don't drop a line behind my back. Just tell me face to face, I'm open minded. Say it all, then go upstairs and pack. Doors open. I pay the food and the rent and the utilities. You keep your mind on your work responsibilities. Don't let your mouth overload your capabilities. And we can get on. Any good habit you come in with, get rid of right now. I can't stand no chewing gum, it looks just like a cow. And anyone taking sick leave better be real sure they're sick. And every time you hear me smell, better get here and tell them quick. Now all my girls know the rules by heart. Lou, start 'em.
No, Miss Loretta, this ain't the Marine Corps. And no, 3 or more in bed, this ain't the circus. And no, kissing on the mouth, this ain't the junior robbery raid.
And you're not to be followed in, it's the kind of thing that big fat lazy hogs do. And it don't make money, Beatrice.
And I don't tolerate no tying up my telephone with other people's business.
Eloise, honey. And please don't show me no tattoos, no hearts and flowers on your thigh. It's downright tacky. Brands blowing on cattle, and that ain't what we're selling at Miss Mona's. You get my drift? I pay the food and the rent and the utilities. You keep your mind on your work responsibilities. Don't let your mouth overload your capabilities.
And we can get on. what they all say. You got a problem with that particular room?
I most certainly do not.
What about you?
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Good. Lord, girls, I have plumb forgot my manners. Now, what are your names?
Nancy Jean Drury.
Is that your working name?
No, ma'am. Well, I've worked as Sadie, as Marcia, as Sheila, Queen of the Jungle. Well, I've been called mornings and a baseball umpire.
Well, honey, you know what I think? I think if you get rid of this Dolly Parton dead she was your head. Come on, honey, let me see your face. Now, maybe if we scrape off some of this pancake makeup, you'd be a lot like the girl next door type. You know, innocent. Now, I call you Dawn, but I already got me a Dawn.
Howdy.
Well, I've thought about Angel.
Well, now that's about a pretty name. Okay, then. Angel it is.
Can I stay on then?
Well, I'm going to try you out for a while.
Yeah!
Okay, what's your name?
Anna Merle Seltzer.
Anna Merle Seltzer? Good Lord, sounds like a headache powder.
It's no worse than no eating gunch, and I went to school with her.
Oh, now don't get your feelings hurt, honey. It's just, it ain't easy selling Anna Merle Seltzer, even at our reduced rates. No, I think I'm just going to call you Shy till I can think of something.
How much do you charge for, what do you call it?
We try not to call it.
We keep it reasonable.
15 for a straight date with a 20-minute time limit.
20 for a half and half?
25 for a French.
Now, you ladies do speak a certain kind of French, don't you?
Fluently.
Wait, but I thought you said you didn't allow no kissing on the mouth.
Shy, honey, I think you and me's going to have a little private talk.
What are the working hours?
A week a day duty and a week a night duty. You work 6 days a week here, sweetheart, except when you got the curse.
And when you got the curse, you may leave this house for up to 3 days.
But don't be trying to get the curse more than once a month.
Well, the prices seem a little
Low? Well, I look at it this way, honey. See, we go in for mass volume and repeat business, just like Coca-Cola and McDonald's hamburgers. Plus, you're not going to have the usual overhead here.
When do we start?
You can go on the night shift. Not quite finished with Shy here. Ruby Ray, would you show Angel up to her room? Oh, and honey, you better get some rest. Friday's payday at the cottages. It's going to be a long night.
It's just a one old down country place. Nothing too high tone. Just lots of goodwill and maybe one small thrill. But there's nothing dirty going on.
Honey, what are you doing here? Yeah, I think maybe you just better head on back home.